Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva, 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 gatiranyata.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful presentation, PowerPoint presentation, and such a wonderful pic of the material world. Actually, this one I have seen many pictures, but this one was much more in detail, showing uh, Durga Devi how she is being glanced, and then Mahatattva, then Tamagunda. So it was really very wonderful. If you can share this, it will be nice. We can refer that
Yes.
and. Uh, yeah, and it was a bit technical and very nicely lucidly you have explained. Thank you very much for that. And also, when we are doing yesterday's session, yesterday we had this doubt that what is that unseen activity of the living entity. So you answered that also very nicely. Thank you for that. It is the karma. So we had this doubt. So thank you for that also. That doubt is also clear. So I quickly request devotees if they have some questions, some doubts, or they have some comments, please start sharing. I think Jaya has already raised her hand. Please start raising your hand. So yes, Jaya, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Uh, Prabhuji, this was Vedic cosmology, right? Thank you so much for a detailed explanation. I have very keen interest in Vedic cosmology. Prabhuji's friend, Gopinath Prabhuji's friend Radha Pada Pankaj Prabhuji also would explain about Vedic cosmology. So we understand that from the glance of Vishnu comes Maya Devi. So this was also explained very nicely by you. Prabhuji, you said in the class, I mean, during this class, you were explaining that subtle ego, these three modes of nature, a false ego is also given, like the mode of passion we saw a few classes ago, that as you said that these modes of passion are given to the individual entity for them to enjoy this material world, right? So they are given. And similarly for Brahma, a few classes ago we got to know that Brahmaji is also given the mode of passion, because only in the mode of passion will he be able to create this material world, the material. So, Prabhuji, my question was that if the individual entity is given these modes to enjoy this material world, even similarly for Brahmaji, he is given the mode of passion by the Lord only to create the material world. Otherwise, he won't be able to create. Then, how can we have a hope of surpassing these modes and reaching Golok back? I mean, reaching back to Golok Vrindavan? Then we will be stuck up here only, no? If we'll have these modes.
Uh, that's a wonderful question. Yes, Jaji, thank you very much. And that's right. Is but then of course I particularly like to quote Bhagavad Gita verse. I don't exactly remember, but then in nutshell it says that when someone takes the shelter of Krishna, whether in terms of the holy name or Krishna related, something related to Krishna, and practices pure bhakti, then the whole material world, the whole cosmic creation becomes like a footprint of a calf, like just a tiny, and then one can easily surpass, one can easily goes over beyond this. So even though this may seem like, oh, we are stuck deep within, I will give you the proper reference, maybe through Gopi Manohar Prabhu. Uh, but then the whole point is that it will, even though this seems like so great, so big, that we are so stuck in the middle of nowhere, like in this, like a strong prison. We are somewhere in the deep room, and what is the hope to come out of all these security layers and then become a free citizen? But then if we take the shelter of Krishna, then this becomes like just a tiny little bit, and one can easily cross over. So even though this false ego and everything is given, but if we understand what is our relationship with Krishna. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. And this is what we do in bhakti, right? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. We understand, beginning with Bhagavad Gita, I'm not this body. Okay, I'm not this body, then who am I? I'm a living entity. Okay, is there any other relationship? Is there any other further understanding of my existence? Oh yes, you are part and parcel of Krishna. And this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mame Vamsa Jiva Bhuta, that you are conditioned, but you are my part. So that means now we understand our relationship with Krishna. Then what will happen? It is not by our efforts we will come out. It is by Krishna's. It's Krishna's mercy we will come out from this existence, material existence. And that's what happens with the great devotees like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. They took the shelter of Krishna and they come out. And yes, Prabhu, thank you for sharing this verse. So here, that's exactly. For those who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of cosmic manifestations, famous as Murari, the enemy of Murar demon, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint. Their goal is Param Padam, Vaikuntha. The place where there is no material misery is not the place where there is danger at every step. So it is not by our efforts we will come out. It is by Krishna's mercy. And that's exactly what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. That actually I was looking for that Bhagavad Gita verse, but I will send you that. There is a verse. But yeah, thank you for a nice question. And we have another question from Sarvadeva Girirai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. First of all, Prabhu, thank you so much for such a nice session. Actually, I missed starting the 10 minutes session, Prabhu. In this, Prabhu, what you said, Prabhu, today's session, we already heard before also all these things. But today, by the presentation, it's more clear, all this Mahatattva and this all the layers. It was very nice to see with that presentation, Prabhu. If possible, can you share that presentation to help us to read and to collect what you said, Prabhu?
Yes, sure. I will share with Gopi Manohar Prabhu and then he can circulate. I will add the references as well, some references as Jaya Mataji's question, and then I will share that.
Right. Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you so much once again, Prabhu, for such a nice session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And we have another devotee, Vaiji Raghunathan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Thank you for an excellent class. You very well, described each layer, how the whole creation happens. Prabhuji, one, when you said about the cellular jail in Andaman, I've actually been there and, could really connect how it is so difficult to get out. And that kind of was like a very strong message for me personally. It is like having seen that, how we are caught up in, this world and how difficult it's going to be to get out. Prabhuji, I had a question also. Yesterday I was actually listening to a lecture by His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. He was talking about, the 84 lakh species and how, he did the classification of each and how, 4 lakh is actually a human species and how this is very rare and how we are, he was giving the example of an airplane where, you keep running on the, the driver, if the pilot keeps going on the runway and he doesn't take off, then he'll be demoted to a driver's license, which means, a lower level of life for us. The question that I had in connection with your lecture today is, so you mentioned that we all fell down because of our desires. So it does not necessarily mean that we will transmigrate through all these 84 lakh species, Prabhuji, because there are so many, animal species, so many bird species, plant species. So it totally depends on what desire we had initially. And depending on that, we might be in one particular place, and because we get caught up in whatever is happening, we may either go down, or if we adopt to Krishna consciousness, maybe there's a possibility that we'll keep going up. Is that understanding right, Prabhuji? Or does it mean that all of us go through the 84 lakh species? Hare Krishna.
So that's again very nice question. Thank you for raising such a nice question. And I had similar question before, and of course I don't have right now the references, but then overall understanding I developed through different reading is it's not necessary that we have to go through like each and every species of life, 8,400,000. No. And that is why Krishna, if you see Brahmaji, he says Brahmaji is the first. Consider this: Brahmaji is the closest living entity, closest to the Krishna, closest. I mean, he can see. He meditates for 1,000 years, and then he can see Lord. He can hear Lord Vishnu's voice. Lord Vishnu personally guides him. So how much purity level he has? So he's almost pure. He's almost pure. That is why it says Lord Brahma's life. If you see, we can understand from life cycle of a living entity as well. How much? Depending as we become pure, our life span increases. If you see the hellish planets, in the hellish planets, the punishment is given, but their lifespan is very less, so that they have to suffer. But the experience, they feel as if they have suffered so long, but the actual life span is very less. As we come higher in these middle planet systems, our lifespan is like maybe 100 years. But if we become more pure, like Swargalok, see, 6 months. Their 6 months is like our 6 months is like 1 day for them, and then another 6 months is like a night for them. So our 1 year is like 1 day for them. So then if you go further higher, as we go up, like Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, these souls are very pure, and the top is Brahmaji, is very pure. He is almost Suddha. So from that position, if living entity understands that, now my only business is to go back, then he will go back from their position. He doesn't have to come down and then take a birth here in the lower species and then go up, and then no. So that originally when living entity falls down, he becomes a Brahmaji. Within that Brahmaji life, he realizes that, hang on, I made a mistake, I go back, okay, forget it, he goes back. But then if he degrades himself, actually, hang on, now I want to enjoy separately. I became Brahmaji, but it's not, better I manage water. And this we understand from the life of Gop Kumar. I'm not sure whether you have come across this wonderful life journey of Gop Kumar, but the Gop Kumar, he travels from this layer, that is our level, and then he goes up, and then he goes to Brahma Loka, then he goes to higher, but then he is not satisfied, and then finally he goes to the Vrindavan, Krishna, then he becomes very satisfied. So it depends on what level we realize. So it's not necessary 100%. Why would Krishna create such a situation where we have to go through? He's not going to force. He doesn't force. So it's not like this jail. Even in jail, like if you commit a very gross crime, then you are put in a very gross level of jail. If you commit a subtle crime, very like shallow crime, then your release is quicker. The same way, it applies the same here as well. So certainly it's not necessary. That's my understanding based on what I have been reading so far, that I don't have to go through 8,400,000 species of life. And certainly it's not that after human form we will get a human form. No. Of course, if we are devotees, then sure it is there that at least we will get a human form. and a chance to continue our journey. But Prabhupada says even in this Kali Yuga, the special qualification is simply by chanting Hare Krishna. For next 10,000 years at least, we will go back. So we just have to have a faith in our scriptures and go through. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Dandu Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. With that, I consider we can conclude. It's already 10 o'clock. And thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to have this Sadhu Sangha along with all of you. And yeah, I wish to see you in future again, either here or somewhere else, wherever Krishna arranges. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhu bhavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.